name is Derek Ross, and I'm with OakParkNow.com, and we're continuing our video series today at Fire Station 36 in beautiful Oak Park. I've got Captain Anthony Romero with us today. And Captain, if you could just briefly tell us a little bit about Fire Station 36 and some of the services that you provide to the residents of Oak Park.
Well, Derek, thanks for coming out today. What we want to let everybody know here in Oak Park, first and foremost, our fire engine is a paramedic fire engine. Obviously, you can see that in big and blazing numbers and letters, but you get ALS service out here. Not only do you get ALS service, but we also provide a myriad of other services, be it public service for rattlesnake calls. Emergency medical calls is our top priority. It accumulates for about 70% of our call volume. But first and foremost, we're always here for fires, hence the fire engine. Also here at Fire Station 36, we run a brush buggy out here. The beautiful city of Oak Park has a lot of urban interface or wildland areas, so we do have the equipment that's capable to handle those types of emergencies. We also run a reserve apparatus out of here. What the reserve does for us is primarily it lets us have more equipment available should it be needed in and around other parts of the surrounding community.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a brief explanation of what Station 36 does. What we're going to do now is take a tour of the facility, take a look at one of these trucks, and continue on from there. So thank you very much, and we'll be right back. Here we are standing in front of Medic Truck 36. We've got firefighter Joe Williams standing here in full gear next to the truck. Joe, if you would, talk a little bit about the gear you're wearing and some parts of the truck.
Okay, hi, how's it going? Good morning. I'll talk a little bit about the gear that I'm wearing, and my job as a firefighter paramedic here at Fire Station 36. My job here at Fire Station 36 is to be a fireman and a paramedic. So what I have on is all my fire gear. I have my turnouts on, my FCPA, my mask, my thermal imaging camera, which allows us to see into smoke or fire, if you will. I also have my axe, which is one of my tools. Once I get off the engine for a fire call, I would have all this stuff on. After that, I'll grab a hose line or a ladder, so I'll grab a second tool normally. So as you can see, it's a lot of gear. It weighs around 80 pounds roughly. It's very hot. It's hard to move in. So one of my other jobs as a fireman here at Fire Station 36 is to stay in really good shape. All this gear weighs a lot. It's like I said, it's hard to handle. You get very, very hot on a day like today, and fires normally happen when it's hot out, unfortunately. We can't control that. So what we can control is being in good shape and being able to solve any problem that the citizens of Oak Park might have. So if you have a house fire or you have a brush fire, we're going to respond differently, but we're going to respond with the same level of professionalism in each aspect of our job. So you can think of the fire engine and what I have on, and myself, and as well as our captain and engineer, as one big team. We all work together to accomplish a common goal, whether it's a house fire, a brush fire, a medical problem, a snake in your backyard, whatever problem you might have. This is a rolling toolbox, and I have tons of tools on me to accomplish any problem you might have.
So here we are looking at the tail of Fire Truck 36, and we're looking at a patch, an insignia. Can you talk a little bit about that, Firefighter Joe?
Sure. Each station in our department is allowed to develop a patch based off the character of their fire station. Our fire station here at 36, we get a lot of rattlesnakes around the area that we go and take care of. So the guys at this station, we developed a patch and also an emblem for our fire engine here. So we have it on the back of our fire engine. We also have it on our patches, on our jobbers. So that's what that is. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the medical equipment that we have. Earlier I talked about the fire engine being a rolling toolbox. Some of the other tools that we have are medical equipment. One of the services that we provide here at Fire Station 36 is we're a paramedic engine. And what that means is myself is certified as a paramedic. So when you dial 911 for any kind of medical problem you have, what you're going to get is Medic Engine 36 with a certified paramedic on it, and you're going to get the ambulance. And normally we get there first. Usually the ambulance is in the area, but they also might be down in TO or wherever they're at, but we're always here. Or we're always in the area. We never leave Oak Park. So when you dial 911, we're going to show up and provide the highest level of medical care that you could possibly receive. So whether it's chest pain, you have a broken leg, or you're having a stroke, any kind of medical problem you can think of, you're going to get a paramedic on this engine. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so some of the tools that we have is we have a cardiac monitor to help us out with any heart problems you might be having. We have a drug box, which has roughly 27 different drugs that we can use to manage different problems you might have. And we also have our airway bag. So any kind of airway issues you might be having, any kind of medical problem at all that you can think of, this engine can handle with myself being the paramedic and the captain and engineer also being certified EMTs.
Well, I got to tell you, as an Oak Park resident, it makes me feel really good knowing that we've got some firefighters here that are trained and skilled to take care of us in times of need. So thank you very much, Firefighter Joe. We really appreciate it. So we're standing next to Fire Truck 36 with engineer Dan Horton. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
If you could, just give us a little tour of the truck and some of the capabilities.
I'd be happy to. This is Fire Engine 36, serves the city of Oak Park. My job as the engineer is to drive the apparatus and operate it on fire. So I start out every morning making sure that this thing is ready to go at a moment's notice. Start off up in the cab. I check all the gauges, make sure it's full of fuel, make sure everything's operating properly. I run the code 3 lights, I check the siren, check the horn to make sure that when the call comes, and they come at all different times throughout the day and night, that we can get in this thing, that it's going to start up and it's going to get us to the call so that we can handle the emergency. Coming back to this portion of the fire engine, this is the pump panel. This is one of the more complicated at times, but yet very important parts of the vehicle. This is where we operate the fire pump. We carry we've got a tank on this apparatus that holds 500 gallons of water. And through all these gauges and valves that we have is how we actually send the water through the hose lines out the nozzle so the guys can put out the fire. So part of my morning routine is to come out here, I put the vehicle on pump, make sure the pump operates properly, make sure I've got water in the tank, and that it's ready to go should we happen to get a fire that day. We consider our fire engines giant rolling toolboxes, as Firefighter Williams was talking about. And so just to highlight some of the things that we have here in the compartments, we have various different fittings right here. This is so that we can adapt our hose lines to go from bigger to smaller or vice versa. To take one hose line, split it off into two. There's a whole bunch of different things that we can do. Coming back here, we've got an assortment of extra nozzles and other equipment that aids us in fighting fires. And coming around here to the rear of the engine, this is where we keep all of our fire hose here. We've got what we call large diameter hose. We hook this up to a hydrant, and basically it's like having a street main going down the street, so we can get a lot of water really quick with that. A little bit smaller hose lines here that can be used for actually hooking up to a hydrant or to another fire engine, or for actually using as a fire attack line. And then coming around here to the captain's side, we have 2 ladders on board here. One's a 14-foot, one's a 35-foot. If we ever need to get up on a balcony or onto a roof or anything like that during a fire, these are our go-to ladders. And if it's anything beyond what we can reach here, we have a ladder truck located in Thousand Oaks at Station 30 with a 100-foot aerial ladder that can come and assist us and reach greater heights than we can with what we have.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a tour of your truck. It looks great. So we're inside the cab of Truck 36, and you can see some of the technology that we have here. Captain Romero, can you talk a little bit about the technology in the cab there?
Well, that system you're looking at right now is our AVL system. And what it really does is not only keeps a bead on where the fire engine is, but it actually helps us route to the calls of anybody's house or residence within the city of Oak Park. On that computer system as well, it has a complete log breakdown of exactly what type of call we're going to, where it's at, and particular circumstances related to that call. It's an invaluable piece of technology that we use every single day.
And here we've got Fire Station 36 getting ready to leave on a call to help protect and save